Relative frequency in math is just basically saying how often something happens compared to all of the possible outcomes that could happen. So here I have a two-way frequency table that I created. And in this table, 50 males and 50 females have been surveyed to find out what their favorite sport is. Okay, so we're going to use this data to find the relative frequency of any sport. Okay, in this case, the relative frequency of any sport is simply the number of people who prefer it. So I'm going to use this to say number of people who like that sport divided by the total number of people that were surveyed. So total people surveyed, which in this case was 100. Okay, so we're going to go through and we're going to do this for every sport. So football had a total of 25 people out of 100. We're talking about total males and females. So the relative frequency that somebody will like football is 0.25. For hockey, we have 13 people who like it out of 100. So the relative frequency of somebody preferring hockey is 0.13. For basketball, we've got 22 out of 100. So the relative frequency of that is 0.22. For baseball, we've got basketball was 26, sorry. So this should have been 26 and this would be 0.26. Baseball was 22 out of 100. So the relative frequency there was 0.22. And soccer is 14 out of 100. So the relative frequency there is 0.14. Okay, so now this is your overall relative frequency. If you wanted to break this down even more, like say I was going to write a sports column in a women's magazine and I wanted to know what I should write about, I would probably want to just look at the female column. You can do that as well. Instead, we would just say the total number of females that like that sport out of the total that we surveyed. So for females only, for football, we would have 8 out of 50, which would be 0.16. For hockey, we have 3 out of 50, which is 0.06. For basketball, we have 15 out of 50, which is 0.30. For baseball, we have 14 out of 50, which is 0.28. And for soccer, we have 10 out of 50, which is 0.20. Okay, you could go even further and analyze it just for males if you wanted to, but I think you get the point here. So that is the basis of relative frequency.